What do you want to start with?
I saw you had a Occupy story over there that kind of intrigued me about these this new form of protest.
I have the general strike.
Yeah, I think that's what I was interested in.
Yeah, that's the only Occupy story I have. That let's see what date this is. Next Wednesday, somebody tweeted.
This Mother Jones, right?
This is how news is disseminated nowadays on Twitter.
Yeah.
Somebody, Jackal Anon, a leader of Occupy Oakland, I suppose. They had a General Assembly get together and passed with 1,184 votes. They don't tell you how many nays there were, but 1,184 votes in honor, or I should say, in favor of a general strike nationwide in this country since 1946. I guess that just means
I'm down with this.
Everybody don't go to work.
If I worked on Wednesdays, I would definitely.
Me too. If I worked on Wednesday, believe me, I wouldn't work.
Yeah. So if you stand in solidarity with the 99%, you need to take the day off of work this day.
Is that what it is? Can you just take the day off? Do you have to go protest? Do you have to show any kind of?
I think just taking the day off from work would be plenty.
Just striking and not going to work.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. Let's get that spread, man. General strike. It's the first time since 1946. So I guess it's really the first time. Let's see how it turns out.
Yeah.
It's the first time it's been. I won't even say it's been the first time it's been called upon. I'm sure 8 million people have called upon the nation to strike since 1946. So let's see how this works out. If anyone's listening to these Occupy Oakland people. I think
it has a strong possibility of happening. I'd like to see it happen. What's the exact date? You said November 2nd. November 2nd.
That's okay. Wednesday.
So the day before the new Kardashian show premieres. So you can pick up the day off of work and get ready for.
Get your strike on.
Yes.
Then get your ass back to work on Thursday.
And then go home and watch the Kardashians.
The Kardashians.
Speaking of Occupy, it appears that there's been some video footage of Oakland PD posing as protesters and infiltrating the protest scene. Apparently spying on the protesters, which is against the law. This is the Oakland police chief said you don't need to have special. You don't need to have some special skill to be able to infiltrate these groups. If you put people in there from the beginning, I think we'll be able to gather the information and maybe direct them to do something we want them to do. So, there's instances during this Occupy Oakland event of paint being thrown at the police officers, bottles being thrown at the police officers. So, and that's what they say warranted the extreme violent response of the tear gas and the flash grenades and the beanbag guns and the rubber bullets.
Now, see, what I've also read about the Occupy Oakland is that the police presence has completely backed off. The people have now gone back to the same park, they've occupied it, and the police have walked away.
It seems to be the pattern, though.
That's what I was calling for on this show the last couple of weeks. What happens if the police just walked away? The people have no one to throw things at. They have no one to antagonize them, and the people will.
But here's the problem: peacefully
protest.
They peacefully protest, but then there's been reports of rats being there, unsanitary living conditions. So the cops will have to come in about 2 weeks and clean it up again. There's been another spat between the protesters and the police.
Why do they have to do that?
They don't have to, but that's what they want to do. They want to get this altercation going. They want to have the violent response. So they're going to go in there. They're going to let them dirty the place up for 2 weeks, and they're going to say, "Oh, we have to go clean it up." So they're going to come in and kick them out. They're going to get pissed off. Same thing's going to happen again, and so the protests stop.
But if the police are already infiltrated, they should know how. The conditions are.
Yeah, but maybe they're the ones shitting on police cars and this type of thing.
I trust that the people will be out there. They'll be clean. They'll be clean enough. I mean, clean enough for having thousands of people living outdoors. I mean, give them some slack, and like I say, just leave them alone. Don't police them, and see what would happen.
Yeah. But how do you get the violence that way?
That's true. Well, just watch Mind Control. 9 o'clock, we're going to have a live macing.
Yes.
That should be probably like a couple parts from now, if you're watching on the YouTube channel.
So the Syria stuff heated up this week. I don't know if you heard, but this...
Subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. It's definitely good ideas to subscribe to this show.
Syria.
Yeah, so Syria is an important part in this Middle East... what's going on down there.
That was a very intense assessment.
Yes. I can't see. I can't find this guy's name.
Mohammed.
No.
Okay.
Assad warned the West over the weekend, saying that an intervention in the area will cause a major earthquake in the region. Saying that if the West does invade Syria and try to kick them out, like they did to Libya, like they did to Tunisia, like they did in Egypt, then there'll be hell to pay. And so yesterday, or actually this morning, the NATO military, the NATO Secretary General Andreas Foe-Rissmann said that military action was out of the question. My answer is very short. NATO has no intention of intervening whatsoever. I completely rule that out. Having said that, I strongly condemn the crackdown on the civilian population in Syria. What has happened in Libya is a clear signal you cannot neglect the will of the people. So he's saying that NATO's not going to get involved, but he needs to be careful because maybe they will get involved. So
he says we're not getting involved, but clearly you can see by what we did in Libya,
yes.
You don't want to fuck with us.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And Russia and China came out and said we're not going to let you go over there. NATO was our part of NATO was not going to support that action. So another day, another war in the Middle East. What else is new? Huh?
So flip a coin.
Okay.
Are we going into Syria or Iran first?
Syria would definitely be the first.
And can we do them both at the same time? Can't NATO handle Syria and let Israel handle Iran? And
two birds with one stone, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Let's just knock them both out.
Sounds good to me.
That's what we do now. Who needs democracy?
Democracy
Who
now.
needs rule of law?
I saw you had a very special story on Iran, though. Speaking of Iran and their reaction to all this turmoil in the Middle East.
Not really the turmoil in the Middle East, just involving the assassination plot.
Uh-huh.
This assassination plot that America completely fabricated against Iran to give more reason to attack Iran, as if they needed any more reason, because they don't need any reason. They're just going to do it, just like we did Iraq. Or I should say Israel. I think Israel is going to strike, and maybe U.S. will piggyback on it. So now they're demanding an apology, an official apology from America.
For faking these reports of assassination attempts, yeah?
To the Iranian government. Let's see how quickly we jump on top of that and go ahead and make that happen.
But Ahmadinejad demand an apology from America.
In a recent letter to the U.S. government, Iran has insisted that American authorities must publicly apologize to the Iranian government and its citizens for the false accusations they publicized against Tehran in violation of international norms and regulations. I heard that on Alex Jones they said that, I forget the guy's name as always, but one of his many
Webster Tarpley?
top-notch experts. No, I can never forget Webster Tarpley's name.
Yeah, he's the best.
This is one of his other guys, former, I think he was former either CIA, FBI type, and he's got all his connections, and he called his connections in the FBI, and they said that there is no record in the FBI files whatsoever of any of this assassination plot. Like, the U.S. government doesn't have any files on this plot. They don't. There's no
investigation.
There's nothing ongoing. There's nothing that ever has been. The story is completely fabricated. So have no fear. Your U.S. government will lie to you until we wipe Iran off the face of the earth, or Iran wipes Israel off the face of the earth. Just
like we lied about weapons of mass destruction. Just like we lied about Gaddafi and his evil intentions.
Just like we lied about the birth certificate. Just like we lied about. Taking Osama bin Laden.
Just like they lied about the birth of Christ being born to a virgin. Come on. We're not buying your shit anymore. This is the digital age. We look it up on YouTube and on Wikipedia, and it says that this shit doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. We're above the noise.
Isn't it sad that Wikipedia and YouTube, as faulty as they are more honest to you than your own government?
Yeah.
Here in the land of freedom.
Speaking of our government and being honest with us, I got a letter this week from sitting President Barack Hussein Obama.
I'm excited about this.
He sent me a letter with his picture plastered on the front, so to know it's from him and to feel very official. So let's see what this letter says. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah, Eddie wanted to open it the other day while we were on the phone, and I demand that he open this on the show just to see what Obama sent.
Okay.
I'm sure it's just going to be some lame Please donate. Don't forget to vote.
Yes. If we let Obama get reelected, the joke is on us.
Oh, that must be a Republican thing.
Dear fellow Republican.
Oh.
How did it... I've been in a lot of this shit because I voted in the primary last year, but I voted in the Democratic primary last year. I didn't vote in the Republican primary, so I don't know why.
Maybe they've been watching Mind Control. They know you're going to vote for Ron Paul.
I focused on one important goal, defeating Barack Obama. If you want Barack Obama defeated in 2012, I need your support. A gift of $20 would be a great way to show your support for defeating Barack Obama.
They even tell you what they want.
I hope you will today, whether it's 15, 25, 50, or 100, whatever you can get to show your commitment to beating Obama is very important in 2012. I want to keep this simple. I hope you're willing to step up. Democrats and Barack Obama are raising an unprecedented $1 billion to keep control of the White House. Please, plus left-wing interest groups like big labor, Hollywood celebrities, and radical environmentalists will be spending hundreds of billions of dollars to re-elect Obama. We can't afford 4 more years.
Don't these people realize that if it all comes down to money on who's getting elected, that there's no point in voting for these people anyway?
Yeah.
It's so out of control. It's so ridiculous. Oh, the guy's going to spend $1 billion. That's not even what he's going to spend. That's what he's going to raise. And then where's that money going to go?
Yeah.
It's going to go exactly where it went into Iraq, and they're going to seal those records for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. It's all so ridiculous. On the things getting a little bit less ridiculous list, on some people actually using some common sense, the Palestinians got the UNESCO seat with 107 votes in favor, only 14 opposed, and 52 decided not to vote at all. So, what that means is it's a resounding yes. They have membership into UNESCO, and America has now claimed that they will stop funding UNESCO, which our American money accumulates about 1/5 of the UNESCO money, about 20%, and they're going to start...
Apparently they wanted to fund it, but since they allowed Palestine in there...
Oh, of course,
it's against the law to support Palestine, apparently, so they don't want to break the law, so America can't donate this money or appropriate this money. I have right here, it says, one delegate reportedly shouted in French after the meeting, "Long live Palestine."
Wow.
So this French guy was really, really into Palestine. He thinks they're great.
I think let's just use common sense. You know, it's no longer about let's just make a deal. You know.
Yeah.
Nobody's given this land. Nobody was granted this land through some holy.
Right.
It wasn't handed out from God. It wasn't. There's nothing holy about your land.
But America is God, Jared. The West is God.
Split the land, Israel, whatever you've got now, keep it, make it 50-50, whatever the deal has to be.
Right.
Let's get over all this.
But people will say that Palestine will never be happy. They want Israel wiped off the map, so they don't want Israel to exist whatsoever. You know.
No, they're perfectly willing to make a deal. They're perfectly willing to make a deal.
This other person said UNESCO has made its decision. It prefers Palestine membership over American participation. So he's pretty pissed off, saying that they'd rather Palestine than have the U.S. So they took a slap in the face.
Well, good. I mean, it's about time some people started telling America no. I mean, we're this big spoiled-ass child that needs to be told no every now and then. It doesn't mean that they think Israel should be wiped off the face of the planet. It just means Palestine should have membership in the UNESCO. I mean, get over yourself. Yeah. Get over yourself, man.
Yeah. Speaking of this whole world group of people, the EU has gone to the IMF to fund their newest bailout.
Mm-hmm. Sure. More bailout, more money.
Russia has agreed to help the EU investing $10 billion into the International Monetary Fund. Also, Brazil has pledged...
Brazil, home of many great, brilliant jiu-jitsu fighters.
Yes,
Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort.
They've also... Brazil is also... So two countries really wouldn't figure to help out the European Union. Russia and Brazil have donated money to help them get out of this mess. Unfortunately, like we were talking about earlier, it's just adding more debt to the problem. So they'll have to pay back Russia this money eventually, which I'm not sure how they're going to do that. They can't pay back, the Germans or the Italians or whatever. So
Stocks rebounded through the roof, though.
And then they crashed again today.
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Whenever they looked at and apparently they're not even like really giving the details on this thing. All they're saying is IMF's going to bail them out.
You're not going to get the details. You're not going to get any. You're not going to know where the money's going. You're not going to get to know whose pockets it's in. It's not going to go to the people. It's not going to help any kind of bailout. I think the stuff that you saw in Greece, all over Europe, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to intensify. Yeah. It's so funny. These things come up every couple of weeks. Oh, America. What did we have? We had to raise the debt ceiling. Before that, it was, are we going to do a bailout? Something comes up every other couple of weeks. That's this big controversial topic, and it's either that or martial law or complete chaos.
The banks will fail. Everyone will have a job. We'll all burn up alive. And
we're going. So we made it through this one.
Yeah.
EU made a deal. The debt crisis was solved for about 6 minutes, and we're gonna head. Now we're just keep our eyes open for the next big problem.
China is not going to pledge any money, though. China's saying that y'all can do what the fuck y'all want to do, and we wish you the best, but we're not giving any more money. We see the writing on the wall. We know what's happening. But so these G20 meetings coming up, and they're hoping to get everyone on board there. But China's saying that the topic isn't for discussion at the G20. We're not going to talk about it. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Chinese president Hu Jintao was in Amsterdam to talk about this thing, about this debt deal. But he said, y'all can handle it. I'm going to go take a look at the countryside. I'm going to take a short lake cruise at St. Gillian and a trip to Salzburg and attend a concert in the former home of the composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So it seems like he said, I'll go over there and talk to you about that debt. And then once he got there, he was like, fuck the debt. I'm just going to go on vacation and get see some sights. So sounds like a good way to handle himself.
Watch some Mozart on vacation. Why not?
Hell yeah.
Watch some Mozart. I'm sorry. What did you say, sir?
Listen to some Mozart, right? Or listen to some music in Mozart's former home or whatever.
So that's fun. Just wait for the next crisis, and the people will boil their anger, and then they'll quell it for.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They'll quell it that much, and it's going to boil over. And it'll quell that much, and it's going to boil over. It's like gas prices. Yeah. They go up, and they come down, they go up. Eventually, they're going to go out of control.
Yeah.
So will the people.